Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We'll just give it another minute or two for a few more people to join, and then we'll get started. All right, I think we're good to begin. Thank you again, everyone, for taking the time to join us today. My name is Angela. I'm the marketing manager here at Tecnet, and I'll be hosting today's session. Today's webinar is focused on a topic we're seeing more and more organizations explore right now, which is Copilot AI agents, and more importantly, how businesses can start using them in a practical, everyday ways to improve productivity and automate repetitive tasks. Before we jump in, I know we have some new people joining us today, so I just wanted to briefly introduce Tecnet. Tecnet is a Canadian-owned and locally operated IT services company that has been supporting businesses, governments, and nonprofits since 1974. We have offices in Victoria and Vancouver, along with a network of service centers across BC. Over the last few years, we've also been helping organizations explore AI adoption in practical, secure, and business-focused ways. From AI readiness and governance to Copilot adoption, training, and AI agents. And with that, I would love to introduce today's speaker, Elaheh Nouri. Elaheh leads AI and innovation at Tecnet. She has over 12 years of experience across IT, business analysis, and solution architecture, and holds a PhD in IT management along with several industry certifications. Her work focuses on helping organizations adopt AI in a practical, low-risk ways. So with that, over to you, Ellie.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Angela, for the introduction. And thank you for joining us today. I'm really glad to see people from different business roles and backgrounds are interested in this topic. And honestly, that's a very good sign. And because as AI tools continue to evolve, the business side of AI is becoming more important than the technical side. And finding the opportunity for value creation, identifying the operational pain point, and coming up with creative idea for where agent can help, that's the business layer, is often more important than the technology itself. So if your goal is to reduce the repetitive work, improve the productivity, supporting your team more effectively, or exploring some practical automation opportunity across your organization, and if you already use Microsoft Copilot or are planning to adopt these tools in the near future, then I think this session will give you some very practical idea and also some starting point. Today's roadmap start with a simple understanding of what AI agents actually are and how they differ from AI chat experience that many of us have already used. Then we will take a quick look at where agentic AI is heading and how close this capability are becoming to a real day-to-day business operation that we have. And after that, we will explore different type of agent, starting from simple retrieval agent all the way to more complicated and advanced autonomous agent. And throughout the live demo, I will show practical example for each type of agent that we are explaining along the way, so you can start connecting this idea to your own organization and workflow that you have. And the goal, our goal today is not to make this very technical, but it's really help to understand how AI agent can help and what is the best starting point and what are the practical use cases and sample and how you can start exploring in this new space in a realistic and also manageable way without adding any risk to your organization. And finally, we will wrap up with a few practical recommendations around governance, security, and also building agent in a way that they are responsible before jumping to the Q&A part and discussion. And meanwhile, you can put your question in the chat and my colleague will try to answer them. And if any question remain at the end of live demo, in the Q&A part, I will answer the question as much as I can. Okay, let's first simply define what is the AI agent. And because honestly, right now, there are a lot of hype around the AI and we hear a lot of things, but I always use this simple definition that a normal AI chat, such as ChatGPT, Copilot, or any AI tools, mostly answer the question using the prompt. You are writing something, getting the answer, but AI agent goes behind just answering, and it can actually follow a step, work with information, interact with the tools and system that you have, and help completing some part of the workflow that you have. For example, instead of helping you writing an email or editing a text, agent can help on collecting information, checking the documents, summarizing some updates, or preparing email, and even it can go further and send some email or follow-up. So the key difference between chat and AI agent is that agent is designed to help you to do some work. And one of the biggest benefit is consistency. When we are defining this workflow one time, then we can reuse it. An agent can help to repeat this step many times in a consistent way across the organization. And that's why the organization right now is starting to think about agent as a digital coworker, that it's not just because replacing the human, we call it coworker because it is helping your staff to do the work and reducing the operational work that they are doing and make a lot of free time to work on more complex and innovative tasks that needs human judgment. And this is becoming relevant across all the department. You can think about it as HR team might use agent for onboarding new staff or answering a staff question around policy. Finance team can use them for invoice processing or approval. The operation team can use them for coordination and follow-up. Or your leadership team, the CEO can use this for creating report, the presentation, the executive summaries. And for non-for-profit organization, agent can help organizing grant information, preparing board reports, or reducing some administrative workload to make more time for connecting to the community. And very often the best agent idea doesn't start from technology, they start from operational frustration, usually from teams saying that why we are still doing this manually every week. These are the good ideas for automation. And this is the value that AI agent will bring to your company if you can find this area that you can remove those repetitive tasks. Okay, when we are talking about the future, one of the best ways that organization can prepare for the future is by understanding where things are heading, what is where the change is happening, what is the future. And these days you probably start hearing this term called frontier firms. This idea refers to organization where AI agents become part of the team itself. Similar to colleague that you have in different departments, in future you will have a lot of agents alongside other staff that you have. And this doesn't happen overnight and usually evolves through different stage. In the phase one, we have human work with AI assistant. This is similar to what we are doing these days. People use tools like Copilot, ChatGPT, or other to write the email, summarizing a Word file, or preparing a presentation, or taking note from meeting or day-to-day productivity. This is the first phase. Then we move into the phase two. This is where AI agents start acting like digital colleagues. Instead of only helping people on doing some task, they are handling some part of the job that they are doing, like processing some invoice for them or preparing them the checklist for onboarding new staff or routing the ticket to proper staff based on their skill set if they are working on service desk, or creating the report or taking approval from different managers through workflow, and so on. And eventually we have the phase three that humans still lead and make the decision, but agent handle larger part of the work and operation. And we call this stage human-led agent operated. This is the future that is happening. And when people first hear this, it can sound a little bit futuristic. And we think that this is similar to Hollywood movies, that we will have agents sitting beside us and doing the work that we have. But the important thing is that the shift is already happening and organizations are doing this. And more important is that right now, Microsoft published the E7 license in the 1st of May. And it shows that how it is. So we are right now at this stage. And this license E7 called Frontier Suite, Microsoft published this suite for managing the AI agent in the organization and offering some feature for organizations such as building agent for repetitive operational work. They are offering many pre-built agents that they can install and start using. It's offering controlling the data that the agent has access to that, and also giving some capability on monitoring the agent activity, what the agent are doing in your organization, and also reducing the risk, such as shadow AI, where the employees starting using unauthorized AI tools that are outside of your organization governance. So this tells us a story that right now we are at the stage that this is happening. Organization also starting to move behind thinking about the AI as a chatbot or AI as a assistant. Right now they are trying to use AI to reduce the cost in their organization by automation or giving some of the tasks to the AI agent. And this is the near future. We need to be prepared for that. I just like to explain shortly about important difference between Copilot agent and many standalone AI tools that we see in the market, such as Claude and other. The difference between Copilot and other is that the Copilot agent can run directly inside the tools that your employee already are using, such as Teams, SharePoint, Outlook, Microsoft Dynamic, or any other tools that you have in your Microsoft environment. and the business application that you have. So instead of creating a completely separate AI environment for your AI agent, the Copilot can be part of your existing operation, and it is much easier to manage. And another important point is that this agent can inherit the organization existing security, permission, compliance, and access control layer that you have already defined in your organization for user access, file access, or anything. In this way, the risk will be reduced and it is much safe for the starting point. And we need to say that not all AI agents work the same way. We have different type of agent, and to be honest, most organizations usually start with the simple type first and then move to the more complex one. The first type is retrieval agent. This type of agent mainly help in finding and summarizing information. For example, HR can use this for finding policies, searching in hundreds of documents that they have, or searching in SOPs, and or retrieving some board templates for creating their reports, or finding information quickly across SharePoint teams or internal documents. These are usually lower risk and easier to build and often very practical as a starting point. The next level is task agent. This agent start helping automating repetitive tasks and doing the job. For example, sending reminder to people who still have outstanding project task, or downloading invoice attached to the email to a specific folder, or generating monthly sales report and send it to the manager, or sending alert when the production quality metrics start dropping. It can be anything based on the department that you are working. And this is where AI start helping reducing manual work and repetitive administrative work. Anything that we are repeating and it's simple, it has a structure, we can give it to the agent. And then we move forward the last type, the more complex one, that is autonomous agent. When we say autonomous, means the agent do work without human in loop or human intervention. And they are more advanced and they are complex. They have more risk. And for implementing this kind of agent, you should consider the risk and also make sure it is a safe workflow. For example, it can be an agent doing automatically updating access permission, defining learning paths when you have an employee changing their role. We are changing role from one department to other, and any new role that we are assigning to a staff, change of learning paths, and anything can happen automatically. We can use the autonomous agent to manage this kind of work. And most of organization move in this roadmap gradually using the first type of retrieval agent to train their staff and start as a starting point. Then they are moving to the next part, that is doing the job using task agent. And at the end, they are going to do the automation. And also when we are categorizing the AI system based on the risk, any AI system that do the automation, they are high risk and the risk should be managed. All right, right now we are getting to the fun part of our demo. Let's move into the live demo. I will show some of the sample for each type of agent, from the simple retrieval to the more complex one based on the time of meeting, before going to the Q&A part. Okay, so to build an agent, firstly, we need to open the Copilot app that you have, or you can use the web version and log into your web version of the Copilot. We have two options to create the agent. When we are clicking on the new agent part, we have two options. One of them is describing the agent that we need. Another one is jumping to the configuration and setting part. I will start with the simple one to show that how in human spoken way and in a conversational way we can create the agent and then optimize that agent. I have one agent prompt creation. I will put it here and explain it. This simple agent is about building agent that can help me on writing the social media post because we are posting many things in the LinkedIn and others. And I like to have an agent that can help me to improve the social media posts, make them SEO based and also make them polished, align them with the organizational value, tone of writing, put proper hashtag or other thing because I'm not a marketing person, but I'm posting many things, for example, in LinkedIn. I will use this prompt that I have explained what is the role of agent and what are the limitation and boundary around this agent. I have explained that I like to have them SEO friendly, be business focused, have the Tecnet brand voice, Tecnet service and value, and follow all of this. And I have copy paste the Tecnet website address and also LinkedIn page to give AI some sample that what does it mean, Tecnet value and voice and tone of writing. And then in the description, we can write what we expect from this agent. For example, I need to generate LinkedIn posts from short business topic or idea, or I like to paste something and agent edit those writing for me in a proper format. And at the end, we can write, define about the tone of writing, style, and any limitation that you have. And at the end, we can define what is the output that we are seeking. For example, headline, post, hashtag, or call to action or other thing. If you hit this and wait, the agent will be created just based on the description that you had. Okay, after this, you will see the configuration page. It has the title, short description, and instruction. And instruction shows what is the purpose of this agent, some guideline, a skill that we're expecting, and other. The AI is bringing your description to the proper format. For each agent, we have a knowledge area or knowledge base. We can connect our agent to the document and knowledge and context that we have. If you have a lot of social media posts, design, or anything, you can connect it to your Teams channel. For example, if it's a marketing Teams channel you have, or SharePoint folder, or email that you are sending to the sales manager, or you can connect it to the website that I already selected Tecnet website and also LinkedIn posts you see here. Or if you have any LinkedIn posts or website that are explaining what is the best way to write a LinkedIn post, you can connect all of this knowledge area here. And we have some parts as a suggested prompt. For each agent is doing a job, but it has some subtask. We can separate this subtask. For example, I like to do writing, creating the post or editing. I can edit this and say, write a post, create post about, for example, some topic, or edit provided text. Or you can remove around any prompt that you don't need. Then by hitting the create, you will have the agent. You can go to the agent and start testing those agents, or you can share it with your other colleague that you have. This is the option that you can use. For example, I can create a LinkedIn post of Frontier Firm and Microsoft E7 license. Or whenever you have some content or idea, you can post it here and use it for editing and then publishing in the LinkedIn post. It is following, giving you the headline, the topic, hashtag, or you can make it short, longer by communicating with this agent. This is the simple way that you can describe what you want and use the AI agent Copilot to create that agent for you. And this idea can be applied for other area. It is not just for social media posting. For example, for proposal writing, you can do the same. Define the structure for your proposal. And whenever you have a proposal, you can come here and ask agent to do that for you. For executive summary, for board reporting, for policy drafting, for SOP writing, or making client communication a standard, you can do that. Define the structure, and whenever you are doing the communication with client, you can copy paste the text here and say adjust it based on our value, tone, language, and other thing. And this is the very simple tool that can help a lot. Okay, let's go to the one more advanced one in another way. As I have mentioned, the Microsoft E7 is offering many pre-built AI agents that you can install them and use them. As I have this, here I'm coming to new agent and I see the plan my day. I'm going to try this agent. Looks good. And when I'm clicking, I see the configuration. This agent will plan my day, especially for CEO level or manager who has a lot of meeting and a lot of work to be coordinated. This agent can help to organize the priority, such as meeting, email, task, or upcoming activity. And what I want you to pay attention here is not just the output, it is how simple is the setup of this agent. We are defining the role here that you are a plan my day agent and your job is to do this and some simple rules that we are defining and a step for doing the job. First of all, go and check the time zone, do the list of the work, check the Teams, SharePoint, my email, and we are defining the expected behavior for the agent and all of the detail that you can find here if you have access. And also we are connecting this agent to SharePoint, my SharePoint file, folder, and site. It is all the file and folder that I have access. It is based on my access to the SharePoint. It is nothing more than. And also my Teams chat and meeting. Every meeting and chat that I have access is not going to check all the Teams chat that we have in organization. And also my email. And it has some suggested prompts. Plan my day, top priority. What are my top priority for today? And also pending decision. Do I have any outstanding decision or pending decision that I need to take care of them? And weekly look ahead, we can ask agent, give me upcoming week, what I need to be prepared for them. The delegation part is specifically good for manager. Is there anything that we can delegate to the other person in my team? And today meeting. There are some other settings in this part, for example, creating chart, code, document presentation. If you don't expect agent to do this, you can turn them off. And also in Copilot agent, we have a specific setting for only use a specified source. If you want to limit the hallucination that AI goes and search in web and finding something that is out of a scope of the knowledge that you have defined, you can make it specify. In this way, the agent will work based on only these three sources that I have defined. It is good to always keep this turned on. And if you have your organization chart and profile in your Microsoft setup, it will be considered what is your role, what is your department. And I will hit the create. Go to the agent. Okay, we can try plan my day. Okay, it's explaining for me what I have in my plate for today, tomorrow, next working day, and next 3 working days. And this is a 30-second glance, top priority. For example, I had this webinar that is a top priority. It's in progress because right now we are at this webinar and I have a leadership review at 3:30, and for next day I have this, and for next 3 days and other. Will explain all the details that is reading my calendar and everything. And when you are creating, as I have mentioned, you can share this agent with anyone in your organization. If you are creating something that is interesting, it is good to share with other. When you are sharing, other people doesn't have access to modify the setting. They will just have access to see and use it. Or you can share it with the specific people in your organization, such as your team member, or you can just use it yourself. When you are sharing with other people or in organizational wide or in your team, still they will have the limitation to access the file, and maybe the result is not same for each person based on the access that they have to the file. And this is very important. Okay, let's go to, I want to show a more practical operational center that we are using at Tecnet, something that saved a lot of time for us. We have access to BC Beat, where hundreds of RFP and procurement opportunity can get published every day. And the challenge for us was that many of this opportunity might be relevant or not, but reviewing them manually, reading them, especially for me that the English is not my first language, is really hard. Sometimes reading a single RFP package that has many documents can take hours. And honestly, there were cases where after reading dozens of pages, we discovered one requirement near to the end of the document that disqualifies us. They need some specific certificate tools and partnership. I said, oh, we spend a lot of time on reading and we are not qualified for this opportunity. So instead of manually reading every document first, we built this AI-assisted screening agent. This agent performs initial review and triage. It checks scope alignment, mandatory requirements, certification that is needed, technical fit, the timeline of the RFP, the submission constraint, the potential red flag and risk of that. Then if the opportunity looks relevant, the agent generates short executive style summary that we are sending to CEO to make a decision. And only after the initial screening, we spend and getting approval from manager, we are spending time to go and read the detail of the document. So instead of wasting hours on low fit opportunity, we are saving time and keeping ourselves focused on the higher value opportunity. As you see, this agent has 4 tasks: to evaluate the bid opportunity, summarizing them, providing recommendation, and assessing the risk. I will run this based on some sample. I will upload a few RFP documents. One of them are fit for Tecnet, and one of them is not, to show you that how agent is saving time, and we can count the time right now. I already uploaded the file document. These are documents for one RFP. You see a lot of documents are there. I upload them. And I think it will take just 2 minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, in compared to the previous format that we were reading and evaluating all of them at least for 3 hours, 4 hours. The agent is evaluating the bid opportunity. This is the structure we have defined that give us overview, who is the client, what is the contract term, the scope, some information about their environment. And I have asked agent to consider the Tecnet company persona. What are our strengths? What are our delivery model, where we are working? For example, we are working just in BC. We are not doing project in other province, and also some other area. And I ask agent to give me some alignment summary, that is this aligned with our service area? Do we have the capability for supporting this RFP? Checking the SLA and service delivery model for that, and do the risk assessment. If we start writing the proposal, what are the risks for this? And also doing the strategic value assessment, because sometimes there are some RFP that it does not match with what we are doing, but from a strategic point, they are good. And at the end, I just ask AI agent to give me a score from 0 to 10, and we will decide based on this. And the summary of evaluation criteria fit from qualification, the approach, and other area that I have defined. And the AI is saying that final recommendation is that this is a strong, and proceed with the submission of proposal for this. I can ask the AI agent here that, okay, give me a summary that I can send to the CEO to make decision about this RFP. And it happened in just 2 minutes. That is really huge time saving for me. And I have another sample of RFP that is not in our scope. It is something totally unrelated to what we are doing at Tecnet, to test the agent to see if something is not related. The agent is evaluating that in a good way. This is about from Ministry of Mining, something that is physical minery laboratory thing, and checking that Tecnet is working on this part. These are our strength, and this is the opportunity, what they need, and what will disqualify us, and overall fitness, overall fit of this opportunity. At the end, doing the risk assessment, and said, do not follow this. And recommendation that is that you don't have very a strong position and you are not qualified to go this, decline and no bid. This is the recommendation that will save me a lot of time, and I can download 10 or 12 RFP and upload all of them at the same time, and then say, okay, I have this 5, evaluate all of them and score them, if you have the limited resource and time to answer the RFPs. Okay, let's go to another one. I would like to demo another agent. I will go with the description. I would like to have agent that can go and read all of my email and find every email that has the code attached to the email, and the topic is AI. I want to save all of them in one folder for future to report that what I'm doing in AI, for example. In this prompt, I have explained that the purpose is monitoring the Outlook email for AI-related code, invoice proposal, or anything. Download the document and save them in one folder. This is a manual thing that I don't want to do, and if you're in organization, you have policy for removing email data or other, you can download attachment and save them in some place. I will hit the create. And you have this opportunity to come here and edit the setting because the AI is creating agent based on the description. Maybe you want to adjust something, feel free to come here and edit them. I have created a code folder for demo. This is a folder I want to download the attach and save them there. And also the other source is my email. Go check them and do, and I don't need any prompt. I will create this one and test it. Go to the agent. Okay. You find every prompt and agent that you have here. Where's my agent? What's learning? What's the name? I can say monitor incoming email and see if I have any code or proposal attached to my email that is related to AI. I want to save them in SharePoint folder that I have defined. I have one from Angela, it's from this and other and other. But when I'm going to this agent and the folder that I have, or I can send email as a test. I'm sending email live for myself. You see that this agent is checking and finding any email that I have related to AI, but I have defined also a folder for code here, but we see that the agent is not storing the file in defined folder because in AI agent, if you are working, creating agent in this Copilot app, we have this limitation. Every agent we are creating in Copilot are retrieval. They are not doing actions such as creating folder, downloading file, or uploading them in one place. In this way, we come to a capability offered by Microsoft is creating the AI agent that can take action in Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio will offer you these services that you can create AI code intake agent, do the instruction setting and everything, and you can define some tools and action for this agent. For example, download this file. You can define some workflow and task that whenever I'm receiving email, go and find it, download the file, store it here. For defining this kind of automation, you need to work with Copilot Studio. For example, download. I can define download the attachment or any task and define the flow. I just wanted to explain and show in reality that when we are creating retrieval agent, Copilot is good. When you want to create automation, you need to come to Copilot Studio. The name is a little bit tricky. They are same, but the way that they are working is totally different. Another usage of Copilot Studio is using Copilot Studio to creating one agent and publish it company-wide. In this way, you don't need to assign Copilot license to each person. For example, we have Tecnet Atlas. We have uploaded all the human resource policy in Tecnet. In this way, instead of sending a lot of email to HR to ask a lot of questions, we publish this AI agent in the Teams channel. When you are creating agent, you have option to publish it in SharePoint site, even in your website, you can put this chatbot thing or Microsoft Teams or app, and everybody in your organization can use it. I will show you how I see this in my Teams channel. Here I have Tecnet Atlas, similar to Teams channel that we had. I can ask any question and get the response, for example, vacation and leave. I can have question and the chatbot will answer just based on the knowledge base that we have attached to this agent. If you are a non-for-profit organization, you have policy, you can upload them, or your HR policy, or any documentation and knowledge base that you have. In this way, one person will do the setting and administration, and you can publish it and give the access to people to work with that. These are a little bit more advanced and they need setting, but if you had any question regarding this, we are happy to help you on designing them. Okay, as we have a few minutes remains, I like to share some ideas that we don't have time to implement and demo them in a live way, but it are just give you some idea that what are the opportunity AI agent can bring. This is a good example for task agent. The goal here is to show that you can create the agent that can help you in onboarding new staff. You can create the interface and say, okay, I have a new employee, Sarah is joining the marketing team, and chatbot will take care of onboarding task and checklist and do everything. In the background, we see that this AI agent will understand the request, will extract the detail. This is the employee joining marketing team, and these are the requirements. These are the onboarding tasks that I need to do for this person and this specific role. What access I need to give, what tools and laptop or anything you can define. And the AI agent will coordinate and prepare in creating access, sharing the document, for example, or giving the welcoming email to this new staff, notifying the manager. For example, everything is ready. Are you approving? Then get the approval from manager to give the access. And also tracking the progress to make manager and decision maker, make them informed that the onboarding is finished or we are at the middle of the onboarding. And the business value is doing onboarding very faster and make a process that is consistent. And when your HR staff are leaving company, you are not losing this consistency. And also the manual work will reduce and you will have the better visibility to tracking the improvement. Another sample that goes to the level of the autonomous agent is about invoice processing and payment tracking. Let's assume that I'm a finance person and I need to submit and generate month invoice for client X and track the payment status. The agent need to do some work for me, reviewing the billable service, generating the invoice and send it to the client and track the payment and do the reconciliation part. And we see there are some steps for this process that we can make it fully automated. The agent will review the finance record, checking the billable hours, the contract that we have with customer, and the charge that are approved and should be included. Then generating the invoice, defining what are the invoice item, format, or should we add the logo or anything we can define, and send the invoice to the client, deliver the invoice. We can put the human in loop here that we mostly recommend that do not do any automation without human in loop. Generate the invoice, get the approval from finance person, and then send it to the client. and monitor the payment and see if the payment is done and is there any reconciliation or any mismatch that we need to take care of them. And this will help to do the invoice automation. These are the idea that can save a lot of time and they are really easy to handle. Okay, the last slide is that as organizations start exploring AI agent, the goal shouldn't be automating everything immediately. The best results usually come from starting small with clear, repetitive workflow where team already experience operational friction. If you have a workflow that the steps are clear and everything has order, this kind of workflow are the best candidate for starting. It is also it's so important to keep people in the loop and keep them involved because AI never can replace the human judgment at the end. And in the area that are risky, such as finance, HR, customer communication, never do the fully automation. Always put the human in the loop. And just like any other business system, organization need to think about data access, permission, data validation, accountability, because the quality of AI agent totally depends on the data quality, access control that are defined very well. And the good news is that the most organization doesn't need massive AI transformation project to get the value. And you saw that in many cases, they were so simple, practical workflow that can save a lot of time for you. Okay, we are at the Q&A. And
Thank you so much, Ellie. Yes,
yeah.
we are a little bit tight on time, but we'll answer all the questions that we can. Please drop your questions in the chat. We did have a question from Christina about accuracy. How can we check or if we check accuracy in the AI agents?
Yeah, the hardest part is about the testing the AI agent and accuracy. In the automation part, for example, I can explain this way. When you are using the Copilot app for creating the AI agent, they are retrieval and they are not deterministic. They are generative. And as the result between my Copilot and other, for example, for social media posting cannot be same, the testing is hard. But for invoice processing and other, we have procedure for tests. We need to have UAT, user acceptance testing, defining the policy, guardrail, and many things. There are a lot of way to test the result. Yeah, it depends on the use case. In the retrieval part, it is hard, but for the other, we can do it easily.
Thank you, Ellie. And Lori says, what is a good project to start with?
Yeah, when you are thinking about a starting point, find a deterministic one. The workflow that are repeated, you have enough knowledge base for that, you have enough SOP and policy, your data is clean. If you have this, you can define agent. For example, for Tecnet, RFP review, we have a folder from many years, all the proposals that we have, all of them are in Teams channel. We have solution portfolio and all the data needed to check the services that we have. You need to find where you have clean data procedure and your data should be in a cloud. If you have on-prem server, in this way, we cannot connect the Copilot agent to that. Everything should be in SharePoint, Teams channel, or some OneDrive. These are the limitations you should consider.
Perfect. And we have another question that says, for invoicing, there will be associated ERPs which create these invoices. Do you connect the agents with the ERPs?
Yeah, I have this open here because this is a good question. And when we are working on an agent in an advanced level, doing the automation using the Copilot Studio, you can connect the Copilot here in the workflow to other system as well. There are some pre-built system. You can get information, for example, here, let me see if we have, I think Microsoft ERP are here. You see here SAP ERP, SAP has some pre-built API. You can connect and get information, just need to do some settings by the API. If you have any information in your CRM, ERP, this automation part and connection can happen.
Okay, and we also have another question that says that for the Plan My Day agent, is it possible to set an alarm to remind for things? Like, for example, attending a meeting in 15 minutes.
Yeah, we can do. I need to check because most of the time this kind of automation in Copilot level is not easy to set up. But for example, you can do some prompt, schedule prompt at this Copilot application level. You need to schedule it to run, but you will receive it as an email reminder that you are receiving. But if you want to have more reminder in a Teams chat or other, we need to bring this agent in a Copilot Studio level.
Okay. Perfect. I believe we have one last question. Well, Nancy was asking about security and privacy using AIs. Maybe a general tip that you can suggest when creating these AI agents.
Mm-hmm. It's a very broad question, but for security, we can say if your security setting in your Microsoft environment is good configured, you have everything set up, you don't need to worry about the security in Copilot because it'll inherit those security. And for the privacy, it's the same. It depends on the case. For example, if I'm creating an agent to go and check the customer email and do something, we need to have some transparency. There are some rules that based on each use case, we need to have use case and consider privacy risk, the security risk. And in ISO standards and also some AI Act in European rules, they are defining the risk level and also consideration for all of them that we can talk about them very broadly.
Perfect.
Okay, we have 4 minutes.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap up, just a couple of quick things we wanted to leave you with today. Ellie, if you could help me with the next slide, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to, okay. And this one. Okay.
Hey, thank you. Well, first, if you would like to continue learning and stay connected with future AI discussions, resources, and practical use cases, we would love to invite you to join our Tecnet AI community on LinkedIn. It's a space where we share insights around practical, secure, and human-centered AI adoption. And finally, as you saw in today's session, AI agents can become very powerful when they are aligned to real business workflows. Tecnet offers guided AI agent services to help organizations identify opportunities, build Copilot AI agents, and support adoption across teams. Whether you're looking to learn how to create AI agents internally or want support designing and deploying them for your organization, we can help guide that process. If you would like to learn more or continue the conversation, feel free to reach out to us at connect@tecnet.ca. That will be it. Thank you again, and we hope you find the session valuable. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Angela and others.